What about Pasha and Russo? What about those two? Will they just be with you?
They're my protectors, as I am a poor, young, squishy mage.
Oh, there you go. That Pasha can be your mom, and Russo could be your favorite uncle or something.
Quick problem, they knew my parents, so...
Yeah, they did.
Pasha's your
Foster mom.
other aunt. Foster mom. There you go, foster mom.
Probably bodyguards works a little better. Or at least traveling companions.
Do I still have the Templar sigil that Sir Garrison had?
Good idea.
Out of character, I don't have it. I gave it back with the longsword to give it to Rashwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Suppose we could try to forge that.
Well, Templars here aren't, well, they are around. It's just very iffy with power.
The Templars in Tevinter are very different from the Templars everywhere else, Darren says.
I think showing up with a Templar would cause adverse effects, especially to a supposed blood mage. He also looks over at Pasha. Are you going to be okay with some potential blood magic?
I think you know my answer to that, Leon, but I won't get in your way.
We're about to enter the belly of the beast. I don't know if it's still being practiced in the streets, but they have a more lenient view of blood magic.
He is correct. It's rather laissez-faire compared to everywhere else.
Yeah. The only law that exists that's illegal with blood magic is summoning demons, really. That's the only law that exists that prohibits that.
So, I just want to bring up something, because I need to be 100% clear that we're all on the same page, because I need to be 100% honest with everybody. If the whole point of this is that I am putting on a front, that I am taking Tyrion back in order for me to get my freedom, if Tyrion decides to do anything that causes a commotion, I cannot come to your aid, lest my cover be blown.
I think that's fair.
Fair enough. Would it be best if you can maybe, when you get your freedom, I don't know, leave quickly? Is that possible?
Well, once I have my citizenship, I can definitely put in something that would allow me to leave. I probably wouldn't technically be able to leave immediately. That would be really odd. A newly freed slave all of a sudden wants to flee the city.
Yeah. Well...
Really? I thought that'd be more common.
Leon sort of tries to write up a sigil of homing. It's still a work in progress, so word may take a little longer, but we can use this to communicate, depending on when you decide to leave the city.
Okay, I think we're all in agreement on what's going to happen. Any other hitches that we need to cover?
There is one thing. I know the estate quite well enough. I've lived there, so I could try to remember and draw some maps from what I remember that don't know if it's different.
That would be helpful, yes.
Hark. It's fair to say that Tyrion still remembers the estate, like, sort of well enough.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
So he's gonna.
I'm sure it hasn't changed much.
Yeah. Assuming it's the same estate.
Yeah, he's gonna draw the estate maps, the ground floor, first floor. Is it the large estate, Hark, or is it like just decent enough? Like, man.
Look at Roll20 right now.
Ooh. A mappa.
Let me reveal.
He's a mappa.
I think you're in.
We're in darkness.
So
yeah, we are in.
All right, now look.
Ooh, that is big.
Ooh.
Okay then. Is this one story?
That's the first floor.
First floor, got it. Okay.
So there's a staircase. I don't have the second floor yet, unless you absolutely need it. Then I have.
No, I doubt it.
But for right now, assume that you guys are gonna, for the time being, be on this floor.
Got it. Okay.
So I draw. So for us it's black and white pretty much.
Yeah.
So everyone sees me just like drawing it out. It takes some time. So
And then as you're drawing, I kind of just say, so Darren goes through her cover story, which is a real story, brings in Tyrion, and then Leon and his companions just happened to be traveling and decided to take the opportunity to get an audience. So we all get in, and then Darren, you go get your freedom, and maybe we meet back up at a tavern or this camp. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So the only NPCs that are going with you, at least for Amerin, is just Darren.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Darren,
Okay, that's
maybe
We should take Nathan just in case we need to talk to the yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And then probably Rosie too, so we can actually have like some other people. If we can take like Darren's not going to be with us as a party, if you will. So if we could take Nathan and Rosie for now, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I also think that we should write a letter with a time and date that we'll be meeting with Amerin, just so that as we are around for tea and crumpets, we could be like, oh, here's a slave that just happened to be also in the area. What a coincidence. Haha. Then it won't look as suspicious. And we can guarantee that Amerin will be with us and won't, well, cause bodily harm.
But aren't we doing that by just showing up? Because like, what suspicion does Amerin have that Tyrion had friends?
Yeah. Or I mean, other than agents, other than spies.
If he has spies who know about us, then we're fucked either way. So like,
Actually, I do have a question, Hark. Up to you if you think it's answered good or not. Would Tyrion know if Amron had a decent enough network of spies?
You probably would say. I would say yes. I'm sure you would know he would.
Right. Well,
So
the problem is he would have a network of spies. He's a magister of a decent enough influence. Just don't know if he has seen us.
so then, let's assume he has them in Tevinter. Maybe a few outsourced. Let's say then the six of us enter in separately first, and we mingle, hang around, ask around for a bit, and then we decide on a place to meet up with Darren to run into them, and then we can go from there. Does that seem reasonable to everyone?
I'd say so.
Well then, I think it's best I tell everyone my intentions. On Amarin.
Do you happen to have any lockpicks that we can hide on your body, just in case things go?
I give you my lockpicks. There you go. Just yeah, I don't know. Find some way to get them to me, or you can hide them on my body. I don't know. Knowing Amarin is probably gonna strip me.
He's going to take out some elf root and try to weave it into the elf root, so that if you looked at it, it would just look like a normal elf root, something that a doctor would have on hand.
Yeah. It's best I explain my intentions to what I do with Amarin. No point in keeping that hidden. Look, I do not want Amarin dead. That is not what I do. That's not what I wanted. The only two I ever was interested to do with Amarin is either imprisonment or tranquility. No situation we're in, I'll be open to any suggestions on what you believe is good for me to handle on him.
If Amrin is everything you've said him to be, then surely public humiliation and stripping of his position is worse than any physical punishment.
Well, I agree with that. The other problem is the last time that happened, we got Rodonis.
Nathan
True.
pipes up and says, "Exactly. That's what I was going to say."
I understand public humiliation is as worse of a crime as it is, but he will be out there, and he might still go after me for doing that to him.
I'm just saying, Taryn, sometimes it might be best to nip a problem in the bud if you can. So if you want me to hold on to your rifle, I can perch myself up on a tree. Oh.
I give him the rifle. I will allow you to do it if you know how to do that, but like I said, I don't want them dead. Death is too much of an easy answer, and I don't do it. That's not what I am after here for. Whichever is the option, that is what I want. Is it going to be difficult? Hell yes.
Just be careful, Nathan Baum says. How confident are you in managing to get yourself perched into a tree and not be seen? That's a good point. I'm not exactly the stealthiest of people.
Well, it's also risky, but I can try to cast a hallucination on passerbys to help you get up there. And once you're up there, you'll mostly be hidden.
That's an option, Nathan says.
Be easier if we go at night.
Yeah. I will say to everyone before we go, thank you. Really, you're doing this to me, to be honest. I know some of you have some secrets you want to know, but thank you.
Get your closure.
And don't die, Tyrion.
That's the least that's the one thing I do not want to be.
Okay. So, you guys will make your way to Tevinter, and the entire locale is definitely has its own style and its own feeling as you guys are going through it. So Minrathos is a grand city, and because it is the capital of the Tevinter period, and the largest city in all of Thedas. It is built on a rocky island not far from the shore, accessible only by a single bridge. The island features massive ports and shipyards and a vast series of underground catacombs, capable of holding food enough to feed the city for a year. You will see several structures of note as you are going through the city. One is the Dwarven Embassy, home of the Ambassadoria, or body of Dwarven representatives, and said to be constructed by Archon Dorinius himself as a guest home for the legendary Dwarven king, Endrin Stonehammer, back in the day. It's still in use and is considered one of the wonders of the world. It is completely subterranean so that the dwarves who serve there can retain their castes. There actually is an arena as well that you will pass by. The Grand Proving Arena, another architectural marvel built back in negative 1200 ancient, based on a dwarven design. It's a triangular prism with hanging terrace gardens on the exterior, said to be a green jewel at the center of the stone city. There is a giant tower, the Circle of Magi, the second oldest building in the Imperium, originally the temple of the old god Razikael. It is the best preserved example of ancient architecture in the Imperium. There is also the Argent Spire, which is where the Black Divine is housed. And I'm going to say that those are the ones that you of note will be able to witness as you guys are making your way to the great estate of Amerin.
Yeah, as we're just walking through the city, Darethan gets serious deja vu because he was a slave, but he also traveled the normal streets, being a high up slave. So he kind of just will remark like, "Oh, wow, it's barely changed at all."
The Circle of Magi you definitely would recognize.
Yeah, I kind of look at the tower and I go, "Ah, there's the old spire." Not surprised that it's still standing.
Important question, because I think we forgot. Who's holding all of Tyrion's equipment?
I think Nathan is, right?
Well, he's holding my
Like,
rifle.
He can be. Nathan probably makes the most sense to be holding your equipment.
Yeah. Or if he's going to be perching, then maybe it's like Nathan and then... Actually, Daretham's cloaked and hooded, so it probably makes sense for him to have like all the other knives and stuff.
Yeah,
and
the
poison.
knives, I would give the knives to Darethan, but I'll give everything else to Nathan. I'm also going to give the vial to Leon. And I'll tell him,
Oh, okay.
make sure you give this to Darethan.
Do I see that?
You don't know. This is like between like before we left, like before we went in. I was like, Leon, hold this. Do not give it up. give it to me back when we're done, okay?
Oh.
And if anything happens, give this to Daretham. You're the holder for this until I'm back.
Okay. I'm assuming he gets all the pharmaceutical instructions and everything else through there.
No, he just tells you give it to Daretham whenever every day at least until the turn is gone, and then yeah, that's just something to be done.
Okay. Whew. In his mind, he's still thinking of the Daretham.
And then we're also back in Ether, correct?
Or we in fire.
Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Alright.
We are switching.
Is it
To the-
eternal
to the-
night or day right now, or normal?
I'm gonna say by this point you have reached the time when it's actually alternating day and night.
Okay.
Like normal.
Okay, it's one of the two normal cycles.
It is now the normal cycle again.
Oh, and
Okay.
while we're in town, I just want to send off a quick letter to the architect asking him for any information he knows about Athumiel.
Okay.
Not telling him that I'm Athumiel, but just, hey, do you have any information?
Sure.
So just to let everyone know, everyone has a -1 to their attacks if that ever comes up. Okay,
Except me.
Right.
except for Russo. Yeah. So make sure you have that in check.
We got +1 to other stuff. All right, and then
I
yeah, so
use my perception bonus.
mhm.
And we said that Rosie was also in this group.
Yeah, so
Yes. Okay.
the four of us plus Rosie and Nathan, and we're gonna go in like a few hours ahead of time, to say like, oh, we just arrived. We'll get like an inn or something that we predetermined through Tyrion and Darren's knowledge, and then Darren will come in, and she'll like say, I need a drink or something. Go grab a drink, and then we'll happen to meet up, and then go to Amerin's estate.
I think Rosie is going to notice the signs that say Dwarven Embassy, and I think she's going to be like, huh, I've heard about that. I'm wondering if my dad ever went to the Dwarven Embassy in Tevinter.
We may have to check it out if we have a moment.
She nods and says, that could be our first date?
Oh man, is this my life? Am I just a intellectual dating type? He's thinking this in his mind.
Oh, I don't mind, she says. I think it'll be very educational.
Yeah, and I can work on my dwarvish. I learned it from books, so I probably have an accent.
Maybe they'll have a cafeteria at the Dwarven Embassy. I might be able to feed you some of my people's home cooking.
Oh, that'd be great. Except I can't keep my beer to save myself.
I think it'll be at this point that you will see Amarin's estate. And Daretham, you recognize this location because this is the estate where you went to go purchase all those slaves from.
Oh, yeah. So I just kind of stop, but then I keep going. I don't say this to anyone because the only person who cares is Tyrion and Darren, and they're in a separate group. So like, I just keep that knowledge to myself. But I go, of all the fucking, really.
Do you recognize this place?
This is why. Oh, right. And I say this to the rest, kind of quietly. I was the one who bought Pyrrhus, and I bought him from this estate.
And if you look to your right, you will see where I completely destroyed hundreds and thousands of elven lives. If you look to your left,
I mean,
Real weird way of coming full circle, eh, Daretham?
yeah. You just. And Tyrion can maybe make a perception check to hear that, because he's like, he's close enough that he can
Yeah,
hear.
I'm perception hearing. I'll make that. Yeah, it's 14.
That's enough, I'd say. Yeah, you can overhear Daretham say that.
Tyrion, like he's with Darren, like probably, and he's just gonna say, "Oh, for good God."
you will see that there are a lot of elven slaves milling about right now, going in and out of the estate. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on. They seem to be hanging a lot of decorations outside. It looks like they're preparing for a big party.
Oh.
And so there's a big party that they're preparing for, and you like see like caterers or whatever like coming in and like setting stuff up for a buffet outside on the lawn or something along those lines. But there definitely seems to be a good number of people. There also seems to be a good number of guards, of just general guardsmen that are just about in the estate. And I think that you guys will approach the gates of the estate, and what I guess Darren will probably be the one leading the group. Tyrion's not going to do much talking because he's like bound and gagged, I'm sure.
He's just wrapped up in the blanket.
Yeah.
No, he literally is on this big silver platter with an apple in his mouth. Apple stuffed in his mouth.
Yeah, if that's what we want to do, or we can go as separate groups. That's up to the group. That was just what I suggested.
You tell me, because I can do whichever. What's happening?
I like the idea of, oh, hey, you're going to Amarin too. Can you be our guide?
Okay. So ultimately, all of you are going to go up to the gates. Okay.
Yeah. Well, ultimately.
The guard will ask and say, "State your business," and I think Darren will pull out a parchment of some sort of identification, and she says, "I'm here as a service to the Master Amerin. I'm here to return some of his belongings that I was sent to fetch." And he looks over the papers and he gives them a nod. "And how about the rest of these people?" "They're with me. They asked to seek an audience with Amerin. I told them I couldn't promise them such, but I would at least allow them to get up to the front door at minimum."
Leon's going to step forward and give a formal acknowledgement. I am Leon Faust. Lord Amerin is friends of the family, and I wish to catch up.
All right. And with that, he will unlock the gate and let you guys in.
Could I mean, Leon can probably do it more clearly than I can, but could I try to look for signs of like blood magic, like just to see if I can feel that kind of feeling of it?
All over the place.
Like
All over the
this
place.
specific place, or just in general?
Yeah, that's Mr. and Mrs. Sanchez down the street. It's blood night.
You're in a place where people wipe their butts after they poo with blood magic.
Yeah,
That's where you are.
Everyone in Tevinter is just like blood for the blood god. So yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
So Tyrion, you guys get up to the door, and I think that there's going to be some sort of like chain at the front door that you pull, which essentially works as a doorbell. And one of the servants, you presume, slaves or servants, opens the door, and you all see it is this older-looking elf. He's got like it looks like he's got this scar across his eye, and it looks relatively fresh, like probably within the last several months, I would say, fresh. Tyrion, I'm sure, would recognize that. And the other distinguishing feature about this man is he seems to have a brand on his forehead. The brand of a tranquil. The man looks at you and he says, "May I help you?" And Darren is going to do the exact same thing she did with the guard. And the man says, "Of course. Right this way." Everyone roll a perception roll, please.
Can I also roll?
Is this empathy or no?
Yes.
Perception 0.
If you want empathy, if you have empathy, you can roll empathy.
Wonderful.
Can be seeing.
It can be seeing. Empathy or seeing, whichever is higher for you.
19 with 6 stun points on my side.
I've
13.
got 14 with 6 stun points.
Oh, I've got 14 with 6 stun points.
Okay. The 14's at 6
Oh, no,
stun
I've got
12
points.
and 3.
Got a 16 with 6 stun points because
Oh no, wait. That would be a 15 because Violetta.
Oh yeah, that's right. You still have the
15,
Violetta bonus.
15 as well, because I'm still on session 2 of that, so 15.
Okay. So anyone who had 15 or 12 above with some start
So
bonus.
everyone but
Anyone
Pasha.
who's had that. Everyone but Pasha notices that Darren feels uncomfortable with this man. So she feels very, very uncomfortable. Tyrion, you sense more specifically she feels guilty with this man. Very guilty. But she continues like with what she's doing. And she will also introduce Leon. Oh yeah, and there's this guy over here.
He's going to give a formal introduction of, I am Leon Faust. We are friends of the family, and I wish to have an audience with Lord Amerin.
Very well. Follow me. I will take you to the master. And you'll follow him, and eventually he will take you over to this room. And it's more like a sunroom, so there's a lot of windows and the sun is shining, and you see this man it looks like he's in a robe of some sort, but very like silky, expensive looking robes. He's barefoot and he's got his feet propped up, and there's a servant who's like cutting his hair. There's a servant who's clipping his toenails. There's a servant who's like filing his nails, like giving him a manicure. And he's got this this green face mask with the zucchini with the zucchini slices on his eyes, so he doesn't see you right away. And the elf who answered the door, the old elf, pipes up and says, "Master Amerin, forgive me, but there are visitors." "Oh, senior," he says to the elf. Yes. "I can't be bothered right now. Is it important? Is it the caterer? Has the caterer arrived?" "Yes, the caterer's arrived and is taking stock of the food, but these are other guests, Master Amerin." Other guests. I didn't have any the guests are not supposed to be arriving for at least the next 4 hours. And he removes the zucchini slices from his eyes, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, Tyrion!" He gets up and he sort of like waddles towards you, because he still has little cotton balls like between his toenails for whatever reason. And he's like, "You've come back! I was so worried!" "Oh, Tyrion, thank goodness you're safe. Look at you." And Tyrion, you're gagged and everything. You're tied up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said, "Darren, I thought that for a moment I thought that you would be late in bringing him back, but well, it looks like you were successful. I can't argue with the results." "Of course, Master Amerin." Tyrion, he was saying that he was very much looking forward to coming back. He was very, very scared out there, and I'm sure that you will be able to take very good care of him. Oh, yes, of course. All of his friends here were also wondering when he would be back. It wasn't the same celebrating the holidays without him. Who are all of you? He suddenly notices the rest of you all.
I'll pipe up and just kind of straighten my tie. Yes, we're associates of Mr. Faust.
Faust? He looks very shocked by this. And he looks in your direction. Leon.
Leon, would you be a dear and come up here?
Leon cringes inwardly and comes over. Lord Forfax, it's been a while.
He looks like he's not really sure how to react to you specifically, and then he suddenly says, "You're not here asking for money, are you?"
He gets the sort of, why would I be asking? No, I wish to catch up and, well, talk about some interests my parents and you had in common.
Oh. Okay, I see. Well, Leo, I haven't known you since you were maybe 7 years old, 6 years old, or something along those lines.
Yes, and well, I also brought a book that you've had your hands in. I was hoping you could enlighten me more on maybe some processes.
You have the book.
Yes.
May I see it? He says, suddenly being 100% like interested in everything you're saying all of a sudden.
He looks over at Rousseau.
Allow me. And then I'll just ruffle around in my jacket. Representing this boy takes a lot of work.
You're a law speaker.
Yes, my name's Rafe Verlesque. I represent Leon Faust. It was in his parents' will that he be brought here.
I see. Roll a deception.
Okay.
Can I just say, as Rousseau is saying this, Pasha's going to kind of move to flank, Rousseau just to get in position.
Yeah, Jonathan will as well, just to be like, meh.
Okay. 17?
He goes, oh, well. My apologies, Mr. Verlesque. I didn't realize that Larry had representation, he says, gesturing to Leo.
His parents paid a good copper for it.
Well, then, I apologize, gentlemen, but as you can see, we're sort of in the middle of preparing for a party. I don't suppose we could perhaps save this for tomorrow after the festivities?
A moment with my pupil.
Sure. Go right ahead. And with that, he's still eyeing the book, like very much eyeing the book.
Leon, we kind of need to find an excuse to stay here. So I need you to be the most convincing, helpless little boy you can be, and be like, "Oh, please, Mr. Amerin, let me and my friends stay for your party."
Okay, I think I can do that. Worst comes to worst, we can always talk about blood magic.
Try the first one first.
Okay, I've been working on my puppy dog eyes.
You go get him, champ.
Leon sort of gives a little, and then puts on the biggest puppy dog eyes you've ever seen, and goes, "Lord Forfax, please. I have so many questions about my parents, and I need answers."
Roll a performance. I feel like there's a performance check.
Persuasion.
Communication.
Persuasion?
I'll let you use persuasion.
That's a 19.
Nice.
Okay.
Clutch rosy kiss.
He'll say, "Oh, you poor thing. I feel like, yes, I think I might be able to at least put aside at least a half an hour to attend to you. Tyrion, I think that would probably be your first task now that you've returned home, just to make you feel like old times. Maybe you can get us a spot of tea. You know exactly how I like my tea. Yes, dear boy?" And he just goes up to you, and he sort of like grabs a hold of your shoulder, and very roughly, his fingernails that have been freshly cut are extra sharp now that they've been freshly cut, and they sort of like dig into your shoulder. Nod yes, Tyrion, nod yes. There you go, boy, there you go. Darren says, "Mr. Forfax, if you could please, now that I have completed my contract, I was wondering if you could please sign this, so that I can report back to my master Alexius." "Oh, yes. He takes out a quill and he like signs the paper. "Well, thank you very much, Darren, and if I may say so, congratulations." "Thank you, Master Amerin. I appreciate it. Thank you." And I hope that your party is a big success. I'm sure that it'll be very entertaining indeed, Darren says. And with that, she will leave.
Yeah, and as she kind of goes, I imagine there's a moment where her and Daretham's eyes just meet, and Darethan just gives her a small smile.
Senior, if you could please take Tyrion, and Senior will go ahead and haul you over to the kitchen.
I'm still bound, so like, did they get the? Is he gonna like just move me to the kitchen?
He will. He will when he gets to the kitchen.
So, we just recently broke the seal on the book. I was wondering why my parents contacted you for the sealing.
My boy, he said, is this something that is this something that we could speak to about in private, or does your entire entourage need to be here as well?
He looks over at Russo. He is my law speaker and is thus privy to some more secrets than you'd expect. He looks over at Pasha. She is my muscle to ensure that, well, I don't find myself in any bodily harm. She's seen her fair share of things. And he looks over at Darethum and say, he doesn't speak much.
Other bodyguard, then?
Yes, more magical than most.
I see.
And I would just, at that point, not give like a threatening growl, but just like a little...
Your parents weren't particularly wealthy. I find it very surprising that you have enough money at your age to hire not only a law speaker, but also some bodyguards.
They may not have been materially wealthy, but they had their fair share of connections. He sort of nods at Marin.
I see. Out of character, is Nathan not with you and perched on a tree? Is
Yeah,
that happening?
Yep.
like finding a vantage point. And then I guess maybe Rosie's out there with him, so like lifting him up to like help out.
That's probably...
Yeah.
We just see like a red dot floating around.
Yeah.
Just give him the signal. Okay.
Like Rosie's going, oh wait, no, so sorry, trying to get you get him up.
Well, to answer your question, Leroy, they came to me because they felt that it would be very dangerous if the world knew who you were or what transpired in Kirkwall. And so I did them a favor.
Yes,
Your father and I go a long way.
it has been helpful, and I do thank you for your effort and time. I was wondering if you had any other secrets that you were more privy to.
What kind of... I'm not really sure, or what specific secrets you're looking for in particular.
Well, you've seen the book. You know the contents within.
I don't quite remember. May I see the book? He holds out his hand.
Can I make an insight check? Because this is...
Oh yeah,
suspicious.
absolutely. Oh yeah, of course.
Can I also make an empathy check, just as like the bodyguard watching kind of
Ditto.
thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Amarin is pretty sus.
That is a 20 with 2 stun points for me.
12 with my +2, so 14.
14 as well.
She cannot perceive anything.
Yeah,
Busy
Sasha
looking out a window, just like, oh, that does look like a pretty good party.
or maybe like Marathon mentioned to Pasha, like, by the way, the air literally smells like blood magic, and she's just like, ah!
So Amerin rolled an 11. So if you can beat an 11,
Oh.
you can tell that he very much is interested in taking that book and maybe even convincing Leon to keep it himself.
I think Daretham would to kind of note, give like, you know, like that bodyguard who's like put his hands on his gun kind of thing and moves forward. He would go like and start to lean forward, but Leon could like hold up a hand to stop him.
I am sure that our host knows the basic etiquette of secrets for secrets.
Well, I just revealed to you one of them. I was the reason why there was a seal on the book in the first place, and as I said, you and your father and I were very close.
Yes, but that is something we came to you specifically for. It is no new information. I was wondering, more or less, why specifically you? Are you very accomplished in seals and blood magic specifically?
I am very accomplished in many things, and I am a collector of sorts. I've collected a few items here and there, which is why I also have helped contribute a couple of things in that book as well.
He opens a page to a thing and shows it to Amerin. Okay. Now, is there anything else I should be aware of? Specifically, any other seals that have been placed, either on me or any of my belongings?
Other seals? Not that I'm aware of.
He flips the page again. What sort of contributions have you made to this book?
I can show you, he says as he holds out his hand.
If you wouldn't mind, this book is very precious to me. What page number?
I don't know. Did you memorize all the page numbers of every single thing in that book?
He's gonna double tap Pyrus as a indicator to flip to the page.
Which page do you want him to flip?
The pages that Amerin had added.
Oh, I see. All right, so the book, starts to flip, and then it flips to the page of allowing a body to become the vessel of an old god. That one. Yes, that one. I extracted that particular spell from an original source, a grimoire, actually, that I keep in my collection.
I see. Well then, how about we make a half-hour exchange? For a half hour, I will allow you to hold this book if you allow a half hour of me to hold your grimoire.
An interesting proposal.
Maybe longer if you, well, have enough time in your busy party schedule.
I was going to say, the grimoire that I have is very valuable. Far, far more valuable than this one, if it actually is said to be the grimoire of Flemeth herself. I'd be willing to make a trade, if you'd like.
I'm sure you know, this book is very, well, precious to me, and I'm sure your grimoire is very precious to you. I would like to retain ownership of this book, as I'm sure you would like to retain ownership of your book. I have, well, my lawyer here, and he's very vested in, well, the ownership of this book.
Is he now?
If I may, I'm a rather skilled calligraphist on my own. If you wanted certain passages, we could orchestrate copies of each other's pages, notarized and all.
I think that would be a great proposal, although I assure you that I can very easily have copies of the book made by my servants as well, and they probably would be able to do it very quickly. There are many of them, after all.
Well, let's verify the goods, both of our ends. Maybe half an hour to verify the pages, so to speak, and we can go from there.
Very well. And, step into my office. And he snaps his fingers, and the servants will follow, remove the cotton balls from his toes and just finish up his beauty regimen of whatever. And then he will lead you guys over to his office. Meanwhile, Tyrion. So Senior is going to be unbinding you, but before he does, he basically takes this long-looking chain, and then the chain, he kind of cuffs it around your ankle. And then he will proceed to, like, unbind you. But he doesn't say anything unless spoken to, so he's not going to say anything as he's doing this. There's already other servants in the kitchen as well that look like that they're preparing food, perhaps for the party and hors d'oeuvres, and several of them recognize you, and actually a good number of them don't. But several of them recognize you, and it looks like they're going to say, "Oh, Tyrion," but they
get back to work.
quickly get back to work and don't say anything.
Yeah. Tyrion, I have a question, Tyrion. Do I know Senior? This is like is Senior a new elf that because I haven't seen him, or have I not?
You haven't seen him, but I do want you to roll a perception.
I'm gonna say it right now. This guy's Tyrion's dad.
10. One sub point.
10?
Yep.
I'm going to say, Tyrion, that you don't recognize him. I would like for everybody else to roll a perception as well.
Perception anything?
Perception C.
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes that's just my guess, but I'm not gonna say it because that's gonna break the immersion.
16 for me.
18 with 4 stump points after adding my bonus.
11 5 points.
I'm gonna say that Pasha will notice this. Pasha and Dartham and Russo will notice that Senior seems to have a lot of features similar to Tyrion.
So called it.
We saw the image.
It's a heart game. Everybody's related to everyone. We all know this.
So I'm getting out of my. So I imagine he takes out the binding, and I say, "Thank you." I don't think we've ever met, Tyrion.
Oh. Nice to meet you, Tyrion. My name is also Tyrion.
There's like a freeze. He just his head kind of, and he kind of looks at him. Tyrion also. I see.
Just like my mother was named Tyrion.
I see. That is a very odd reasoning for an odd coincidence.
It is an odd coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that you was one of Master Amerin's prized servants. He spoke very highly of you.
Well, that he did. And I'm like, in terms of clothing, my bandages aren't on me, so the scars are easily like seenable. Yeah. So, I guess I better get back to work, huh?
You know how he likes his tea.
Yeah. That I do. Is there anything else I need to do?
We have a party. There's a long list, so we probably will need help getting things ready for the event.
What's the party for again?
Several of the Master's friends, they are gathering to have some sort of discussion. I don't know what they're discussing, though.
Close friends. Magisters?
Very close friends.
Magisters, I imagine?
He will nod. That is... yes.
Tyrion's gears are grinding in his head right now, and he has a wild guess. Okay. Thank you. Is it alright if I call you Senior Tyrion? I mean, just because you look older than me.
That is how I am, or that is what I am called around here, and I think it would help avoid confusion.
He nods. That is fine, sir. Well, best I get to work then. Tell me, because it's been a while, how's Amerin been? Since I ran, has he been, I don't know, normal, so to speak? Crazy things?
He hasn't acted any differently since I started. I actually was brought here a few months ago. That woman that you were with, Darren, she was the one who brought me in.
I see. Well, that is unfortunate, knowing her, but Well,
Unfortunate.
yeah, she's quite well known in the streets, I heard. I've been trying.
She brought me home.
Home?
Yes, she brought me home.
This is where you once were?
This is where I came from.
The mark on your forehead means you're tranquil, if I'm correct.
Yes, that is correct.
Were you a mage then?
I was.
Then what's the story? I mean, I heard tranquils are only branded when they commit a crime.
I did commit a crime. I ran away. And I was justly punished for it.
You ran away? From Amerin?
I did.
His fist clenches.
I believe I was scared. But that's a foolish feeling. It's an unproductive feeling. I'm not scared anymore. And I realize where I belong.
I see. Well, anyway.
You too will find peace, Tyrion, once you accept who you truly are.
He nods, and he's going to get to making tea. And as he goes to make his tea and by himself, he's going to say, "Never. Never will." And he's going to make the famous Tyrion's tea for Amerin. And the only thing that calms him down.
Does he have, some of, did he sneak in some of Theoben's, vials?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. No, this is... So yeah, he's taking his time, and because he's returned back and he doesn't want to anger Amerin already, he's going to do the best he could.
So, you guys are now in Amerin's office. And when you go into his office, we'll say he has some sort of jacket that he can throw on above his robes right now, his silk robes. There's another door to another room from the office, and he just tells the group, "Wait here one moment," and he'll just step into the next room. Leon and Daretham can probably feel, well, Leon especially can probably feel some blood magic things being cast in the other room, presumably maybe on a vault of some sort, probably to unseal some sort of vault in the next room.
Also, while we're doing that, and he's, I assume, maybe around 6 yards away or so, can I use my minor action to just sense, again, the mood, specifically of him?
His mood right now is...
In one word?
Opportunistic.
Got it.
Opportunistic.
Yeah.
So, he comes back, and he has this, it looks like a book that's been wrapped in some sort of really nice, cloth, just to protect it. And he'll go over to his desk and he'll place it down in the desk, and he'll, carefully unwrap this relatively thick-looking tome of some sort, comparable in thickness to Pyrrhus. And, it looks pretty much like the grimoire that you see in in Dragon Age Origins. One thing that you will notice, though, is that it seems like the grimoire itself, about half of its pages seems to be missing.
Oh, I see that the goods aren't entirely intact.
As you can see, the state that we discovered when we found the grimoire was incomplete, but it's still exceptionally valuable.
I guess we'll have to appraise our goods. He also places Pyrrhus on the table.
I'll let you thumb through if you let me.
Of course. He looks at both Daretham and Rousseau as he starts to look through the pages.
All right.
I'm going to, as they're all doing, I'm going to start pacing around the room near the door entrance, where a servant would go through, and just start to kind of feel like a caged animal, just walking and just silently grunting.
Can I make a calligraphy check to like copy down like the bits of Flemeth's grimoire I can see from the distance?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Question mark. Because I'm making tea, can I just say I can interject, like comment or the tea whenever I want to?
can.
Alright, I'll do that
Whenever you want.
Okay, my calligraphy for whatever reason didn't work. Let me re-roll that.
0.
Not adding my bonuses.
Oh.
Do it from the skills themselves.
Yeah, we can just get it. So that's
Go from your focuses and roll it in the actual focuses page tab.
if you want to use that die roll though, then that would be a 11, 17, 19, 21
Well, I'll just-
total.
Yeah, 21.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can start copying some things down. Leon, as soon as you open the book, you realize that the book is written in Elven. Can you read Elven?
Fudge. It's the one language I didn't take because there were other folk with Elven.
Thankfully, your boy is right here.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
The guy who's copying the text knows Elven.
Yep.
Okay. Can I do a base magicka check to feel the magic in the pages, as I'm sure it's been ingrained?
Sure, go
through-
right ahead. Go right ahead.
Is it base magic, or should I do like creation or blood?
Probably blood.
I wouldn't call Flemeth a blood mage, though.
That's true. She's a
not really
goddess.
a blood mage.
So
I would just say magic, straight up magic. I wouldn't put a creation or anything on it. Just do straight up magic.
That's a 16 with 4
Okay.
step point.
So this thing is very powerful. This tome is powerful. And whoever owned it, like, you can feel their essence. And it feels pretty much similar, if not equal, to your innate godlike powers. So which is a big deal.
could I also try to sense if there's taint magic at all in it?
You can, but I don't think you're going to sense anything.
Okay.
So we know out of character that Flemeth used to be she used to be an elven god.
It
And
still
so
is Mythal,
hence
yeah.
she was Mythal. And so I don't know if Leon necessarily knows that, but the pages that are still there, a lot of it is less about spells and more about almost like a diary, an account of Flemeth's life. And she actually has written in her grimoire things about her own identity. She doesn't actually call herself Mythal, but she alludes to anyone who knows anything about Elven history or just Elven culture can put two and together and sort of see, wait a minute, is Flemeth saying that she's who I think she's saying she is, and stuff like that. So a lot of the text that Rousseau is writing is text about Flemeth in general that we know throughout the games up to this point. But there are some things in here. There are some things in here in the grimoire that are in the form of spells. So some of them are ways that you can improve, like, the magic of existing spells in the player's handbook, like a more powerful version of the lightning spell or a more powerful version of whatever kind of spell. And then you actually see you actually also see in there something about a potion that is said to give somebody eternal youth. It doesn't give them immortality, but it gives them eternal youth, and things of that nature. I'm thinking that up to that point, without keeping the book, that's probably all that you're going to be able to copy down, Rousseau.
Okay.
So, and I think that the servants who followed Amerin are also going to be using their own calligraphy and like copying down a whole bunch of stuff from Pyrrhus's pages as well.
As they're copying, there's a door, a knock on the door. Master
Come
Amerin.
in.
He opens the door and he comes in with a tray. Is it just for Amber, or did I make tea for? Would it be cool if I made tea for everyone else also?
Yeah, you can make tea for everyone.
Yeah. So Turn.
Oh, I've dreamed of this for so long. Amarin says.
He puts it on the table, and he's gonna give a cup, like a tea, like the class, like as it is, plate in a cup to every person in the room, or at least the guests.
Everyone would be able to see that Dartham's like going off to the side, and as Tyrion like brings up his cup, Dartham like sees him, whirls around, and like goes up real close and like. But as he does, he slips a dagger kind of into Tyrion's shirt, just to like go sizing you up, but then take the cup and you feel the dagger go into your shirt.
Okay.
No. I think Amron will notice the growl, you growling at his prized servant, and so Amron says, "No. He's all right. He is my prized servant."
Please forgive
And he kind of looks at Leon.
Please forgive my entourage. He sort of waves. He's used to some unsavory sorts.
I understand, Lorax.
Leon still gets that little twinge every time he gives a wrong name.
Tyrion,
Can we give the DM a point of inspiration?
I'm gonna, and Tyrion is going to then bow to Amron. If anyone wants to make a perception empty roll, can make it on Tyrion. He's gonna say, "Would you like anything else, my lord, my master?"
Yes, Tyrion. If you could also, I think I will be done with these folks in probably the next 10 minutes or so. If you could prepare my bath, that'd be great. And I think today I would really appreciate one of your signature sponge baths.
Very well. And he will then as he's just gonna stand and he'll walk away. And people saw like make perception empties. Like it's a regrettable bow. It's a bow he doesn't want to do, but he has to do just to keep his dignity. And he's going to then bow to everyone else. Guests.
Tyrion, did you give any poison to me when you gave me your gear?
I have no poison.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just giving you the dagger.
Yeah. Is it the tainted dagger?
Yeah, it's the tainted dagger. It'll be the tainted dagger.
And then I'm going to bow to all the guests, and then I will leave. I believe I'm in chain. Is my ankles in chains?
Yeah, your ankle's in chains.
I'd like to think that Tyrion just has like the ball and chain on one leg.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably has some sort of ball and chain, yeah.
Yeah, and he will leave to head to the bath and prepare for the special sponge bath.
He has this special collar so that, if he ever leaves the premises, it gives him like a zap. Like he's
It's brand new textures.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyrion leaves, and go ahead.
And I just want to ask, what's Amron doing? So he's got his servants copying down pages, but what is Amron specifically doing? What's he looking at? That type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, in general, he's like pointing out pages, for people to like to write, and I think the way he's doing it is, you can only open the book to a certain page at a time. So I think his servants have been trained. They've clearly have done this before. They each like take a paragraph, and then they'll just allocate things back together. Like they can keep track. You always get paragraph 1. You always get paragraph 2, and they're all like copying. So they can copy like several pages pretty quickly within the 20 or 30 minutes that you guys are perusing through the book. But specifically, he's pointing out like what looks like random diagrams and random blood spells.
Pasha would like, using the song, she wants to send a message to Rousseau. Just saying, I've got an idea. It might be risky, but it might pay off. If you can pick up my lead.
Go for it.
If you guys are in the same room, you don't even have to roll anything. You can communicate to whoever you want.
Dartham hears that as well and will just go, I mean, we're alone with it. Tyrion has a dagger now.
Could I also just have a general feel for, because of my familiarity with the book, like any sort of through line, any sort of similarities between the passages he seems interested in?
Yeah, a lot of the passages he seems to be interesting are passages that have to do with mind control, reading thoughts, like those. A lot of those types of things is what he's copying right now.
I'll also add to the song, he's interested in the mind and mind control.
Okay, we should get him before he can use those spells.
Can I send a distance song as I'm when I'm in the room? Could I and as I'm leaving, could I have sent a song to?
Yeah, roll a communication.
A communication.
Yeah.
Okay. I roll a 12. Is that good enough?
What are you trying to convey?
I'm going to convey important meeting.
Okay, you can get that. Important meeting.
So, Lord Forfax, what sort of party are you going to be having tonight?
Well, Linus, the party that I'm having is, some associates of mine that... Well, roll me a persuasion. I want to see how much he's going to divulge. Roll me a
Okay.
persuasion.
Do we get an extra +2 because he's given the book and he's like super happy that he's given
I
the
will
book?
say so. I will say so, yeah.
Okay, so +4 to
and
that,
he's-
so 19.
It's a 19 with 2 stunt points.
And that includes the Rosie bonus, right?
That includes
Yeah.
the rest of it.
Says, well, my boy, we're having sort of a party/town hall meeting, I suppose, with some of the very important colleagues of mine in the city. Mostly because I don't want to, get into too much depth because, this is all political stuff that I'm sure you're not interested in. But some of us are concerned about some of the changes that the current Archon is trying to put into our city, and we just wanted to discuss said changes.
Oh, that would be quite interesting. I've been thinking about Tevinter settling down. As you know, my proclivities, he gestures towards the book. Be nice to get a head start on maybe some of the more aristocratic and best people to talk to.
Do you have any interest in coming to the party? I mean, you're not even citizens of Tevinter.
It would be most lovely to see how some the cultural differences, especially if, I wanted to continue my research and maybe settle down in a more friendly city.
Roll another persuasion. You're
Okay.
gonna have to roll a separate
Still
one.
the extra +2 or no?
Not yet, because he's starting to feel a little suspicious. Like, why would this random boy suddenly want to be
18.
involved in
18.
18? I'll tell you what, Lebanon. Because you are the son of my good friend, I suppose you can come for, some of the music and some of the food. I think our meeting, however, is going to be very private, however, but you can at least be at the estate to enjoy the entertainment.
Oh, that would be most lovely. And maybe we could formalize this arrangement a little more.
I think that would be a good idea. It would just be for you, correct? The invitation?
I would hope that my law speaker, he cleans up very nicely, will be able to join me.
Does your law speaker have any interest in going to a hoity-toity party such as ours?
He, sort of follows me around and advises me in situations, and as I'm still quite young, it would be nice to not embarrass myself in front of your well-to-do friends.
I see. Well, I can be convinced to allow your law speaker to come, but your bodyguards, however, you have to understand, like, the guest list is limited as it is, and I can't just be inviting the entire city now, can I?
Oh, yes. It would be... I'm sure you have excellent security.
Let me have formal invitation sent to you, so you could return back in a few hours.
Why, thank you. I will be sure to wear my best. And were there any other arrangements you wish to make?
I think that For now, this would be good, unless you're interested in making the trade now that you've seen what the contents of the merchandise is. I am very much ready to part with the grimoire if you are willing to part with this book.
Asha would like to make a start on her plan, if that is okay. She got
ahead.
ahead.
But
ahead.
before we do that, I will just send through the ether to Tyrion, try to communicate politics against Calpurnia. That just those 3 words or politics against Archon. I'll say politics against Archon to Tyrion. So should I roll communication for that?
Yes.
20 with 4 stun points.
All right, you can get that, Tyrion.
So Pasha is going to, as sneakily as she can, remove one of the paint bombs that Hugh gave her.
Yes.
Behind her back, she's got her hands behind her back. She's clutching the paint bomb in one of them, and she's looking over at Flemeth's grimoire, and she's just kind of looking at maybe the front cover and like the first 3 pages, and then the rest can just be gibberish. And she's gonna just toss it up, catch it, and she's just thinking the grimoire, the grimoire, the grimoire.
Roll whatever skill check you think is appropriate for that.
Can I like, as I see the paint bomb come out, can I just like go over to like lean over and just cover her back as she's doing it?
Can I also give her help because I'm distracting?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it's like +2 from me, 2 from Leon, and then yes, no?
Well, in the paint bombs, success is determined by a dex crafting. So I think I'll use that.
And then you should get. Are we getting a +2 or +4 from all the helping?
+4.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she needs.
Oh, wow.
That's a 24 then.
Wow. So yeah, Pasha, you are able to make an exceptionally convincing grimoire behind your back.
And I think what she's gonna do is she's just gonna I imagine she's like behind Rousseau, so she's gonna very sneakily kind of she's gonna basically kind of very quietly push the book onto Rousseau's back, slide it down the chair so he can reach behind and grab it. And I think what Pasha's gonna attempt to do,
Spill the tea.
she's gonna I have a thought, because Pasha's used this tactic in the past.
Oh no!
In an alleyway. Fuck it.
No.
Pasha does what she knows. Pasha's gonna kind of walk. And she's gonna
Sachet.
She is sashaying Lord Amerin. She's sipping the tea, and she's trying to do her best, like, bedroom eyes over the cup.
Oh,
and she's sipping
nice.
it. And she's going to go up to him. Forgive me if you'll think I'm being very, very bold, my lord. However, my employment with Mr. Faust here is going to be ending very soon, and I think you'll find I am an exceptional bodyguard.
Pasha, roll me seduction, please. Communication seduction.
Please. No!
Oh no.
Oh.
1 second, I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do.
Oh, your hat.
No, your head doesn't help. It's
No,
only
that does not allow me a reroll.
That
Sad
gives her a
time.
stunt, though.
Oh, 4 stunt points is flirt in communication.
Oh.
And
we
then
do that?
role-playing.
I don't know if that's how it's gonna help much, but anyway.
Worth a
Yeah,
try.
if you want to use your hat to turn that into a stunt and then use 4 points in communication, in flirt, you can do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
1.
Oh.
No, I have oratory, and that's when trying to convince the group, and Pasha is not trying to seduce a group of people.
So Amerin is very easy to seduce. He got an 8. He rolled an 8. So Amerin, he sort of like eyes you up and down and says, on second thought, I suppose I can make room for one more invitation if your guard, he says, pointing to Pasha, is willing to
Pasha, wait. Oh, no. We're gonna have to kill this magister. No.
Okay, so, Pasha, excellent work. I mean, when you just sent the transmission that, follow my lead, I was a little worried. And then you started sashaying, and I was even more worried. And then the way that you were looking at Lord Forfax.
No. Wait, that worked?
I mean, I can't really argue with the results now, can I?
He says, I'm thinking, Luther, maybe you could stay the night, and both your guard, you and your guard could stay the night. Yes.
Oh, that would be lovely. We would love to make home of your lovely estate.
We have fine accommodations where you could stay. I will have you know that the guardian of Aether herself stayed here with her bear at our estate.
Oh my goodness, we will have to check that out. Of course.
Pasha is going to. I think she's gonna start touching him in a very
Yes.
like his arm.
Oh yeah.
And I think what she's gonna attempt to turn him away from the table
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
phlegm.
Very easily.
And she's just, oh my lord, please tell me more about this bear. And sipping the tea. This is delicious tea. And she's just like looking over at Russo, like, do it now.
Are the servants distracted enough by this display?
Yeah, actually, Daretham will go ahead and hold out his hand to, because he's got a big cloak to hide stuff in, so he can grab the grimoire as you swap it out.
What did you say that your name was, Miss? He asks.
Well, my lord, I didn't. But if you must know, you can call me Lanaya.
Lanaya, what a beautiful name. Tell me, Lanaya, on the side, trying to whisper to you. I'm just curious, if you don't mind me asking, how much is the boy paying you? Because you clearly seem to you clearly strike me as a woman who's very good at her work. So I feel like whatever he's paying you, I can pay you double.
Oh my lord, you flatter me. However, working for a man as handsome as yourself would be surely enough. But
by this point the book has been swapped, so I don't know.
All right, it's in
Yeah,
my
I
code.
rolled a 17 to swap it.
I guess also as they're kind of going, Daretham will then go up to Leon and look actually a little threatening and be like,
So, that it? I just get pay and go?
Leon's going to be like, Lord Forfax,
and he's gonna be like, come on.
I must apologize, but we must freshen up. He gives a pretend hard look at Pasha, and maybe talk about terms of employment, if you would be so kind as to.
Of course. Yes. We all have plenty of things to do in the next few hours. So yes. He will go over back and take back the. Wait, so are you actually? Did you accept the trade, or you did not accept the trade?
I did not.
All right. So he's going to take the grimoire back. Wrap it into the cloth, and then
Yes, the grimoire.
yes, and he's going to say, I will see if I can have Senior or Tyrion maybe see you out.
Oh, yes, and thank you again for opening your house, and I look forward to your party tonight.
Of course, he says. I look forward to it, Lenny.
He sort
I
of
want
gets
something.
up.
I want to do something about the rights while that was going on. Whatever that was. If it's all right, so what I'm gonna try and do is I'm actually going to pick up some papers about to write. A paper and a pen. I want to write something down. I'm gonna write down, the party of Amerin Forfax has been gathered to conspire against Archon Calpurnia. I'm gonna just roll it up. I'm gonna go find the window where I remember Nathan and Rosie is, where they are. I'm gonna open up the window and making sure there's no one around. Make into an airplane and throw it at the tree where they are.
Okay, I guess roll a ranged, but
Throwing?
ranged throwing. Yeah.
Just dexterity, just straight dexterity. Do I get a focus bonus since I'm?
Only if you have a focus on paper airship.
I don't.
Only
I don't.
Then no, you can't have a focus on it then.
No. Okay. So straight dexterity. I got an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to very easily be able to send it over to the tree, and Nathan will be able to catch it.
Close window.
He doesn't actually do this, but I almost tempted to be like, Nathan's like, oh, it's like he's sending me a love letter. Oh. But he doesn't do that.
Yeah. And I'll go prepare the bat, and I imagine if he calls me out to help them out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, so Senior will escort the group out, and yes, go ahead, Pasha.
As Pasha leaves, she's just going, a pleasure to meet you, my lord. And then, give him like a little wink. And then, just for added effect.
Yes. Yeah, and as you leave, anyone who's watching can definitely see Amerin go. Take a look, take a look.
Oh, I hate him.